Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. For this time, I would like to say thank you so much for the attention. And for the first time, I would like to thank you to all of students and our lecturer is Miss Aviva, who has given us opportunity or occasion to make the explanations that relate with our topic right now, the second language acquisition in the classroom. Okay, for the first, I'm from four 15 groups 15 groups for the first time. Firstly, I want to introduce ourselves. My name is Nurul Umam, as the first ex- explainer, and the second explainer is Zainul Haq Harmain. Okay, for the first is the introductions of second language acquisition in the classroom. This preparation lessons, present seven hypotheses on how all proficiency may be developed within multimedia classroom environments. These hypotheses are culled from several areas of second language acquisition research. Okay, I want to give first the kinds of second language acquisitions in the classroom. The role of digital video. That these explanations focus on the role of digital video. Okay, first, hypothesis, oral proficiency in the first language more effectively and efficiently accurate when the following conditions apply. First, learnings is situate, and the second is input oriented learning of the first language is implicit, and the third is output oriented learning or output processing of the first language is encouraged, and the fourth, the cultural components of first language competence in promote. Okay, and the next is a focus on form is fostered, and the next is storage in memory of view is meaningful. Situate sequences of sounds and word in promote, and the next is effectiveness of the learners are taken care of. Language learning is strong linked with emotions. Okay, for the next is the kinds of language acquisition in the classroom of digital videos is situate learnings. Situate learning is the terms that is primarily associated with constructivism. Knowledge is not handed down from one person to another, but is created through an active process of constructions. In this process, the situations in which the knowledge is acquired plays a central role. Knowledge is based on the context of learnings and cannot be spirit from the age of learnings and the situations which is learned. Therefore, learning should be applications oriented and take place with authentic learnings be application oriented and take place within environments where knowledge and skills are accurate in the same ways they are expected to be used. Okay, and the third of kinds Second language acquisition in the classroom is input processing. Input processing in listening comprehension plays a key role in the development of communicative competence. In free comments that reset through the eyes and ears are processed in the human brain's processing result in the acquisition of procedural knowledge about the various aspects of language, phonology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. And the fourth kind of second language acquisition in the classrooms by digital video, I think output processings. Output processings, for example, noticing and storing to and meaningful linguistics units initiatives. That's second language acquisitions first, but does not usually lead to full productive competence. If oral, and written explorations is to be learnings, beside listenings, comprehension speaking skills need to practice spiritually. And the fifth of kinds of language acquisition in the classrooms by digital values is cultural language. Cultural language, in a broad sense, in this indispensable for pragmatics competence, since interpretations, semata and script are often grounded in the particular culture. Language is a cultural product in the multicultural scientists of the information age. Intercultural understandings and appropriate cross-cultural behavior are likely to become essential skills for all humans. The learnings of cultural knowledge and of cultural and analytical reasonings may be as important as the acquisitions of functional competency.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zainul Hakaromain. My number name 8038 1031 87. And I want to explain about the role of digital video. And I want the continued material from Nurul Umam. The first material for me, focus on from. Okay, focus on from input that might be processed for meaning alone. Default situation, in which case the form of the message, the actually words being used are discarded after meaning has been extracted, and only the meaning is stored. Although the input was comprehensible and was actually comprehended, no new language was learned. Lexical learning. One of the reasons why spoken and written language are different is the fact that speaking is behavior that takes place in the real time and under severe processing constraints, short-term memory limitation. Oral language is very different from written language. This is a very natural thing in English. Spoken language is easy to understand because it is the easiest way to communicate. Emotional learning. In this case, emotional lessons are easier to understand because it is one way to understand humans rather than visually learning. The knowledge we get by learning and in the interacting with the teacher in the real terms. Not visually, the teacher can understand more deeply the student, even though sometimes the student cannot understand the teacher. Emotional learning. Okay, this is the last material for me. Actually, conclusion and perspectives. The, the starting point for the easy was communicative situation with the learner responding to input both emotionally and cognitively. Other fundamentals for acquiring comprehension. Okay, this is the last material for me. The conclusion and perspectives. The starting point for this is easy was communicative situation with the learner responding to input both emotionally and cognitively. Other fundamentals for acquiring competence may be derived from the fact that language is used for comprehension as well as for expression. That language has both content and form. That much of spontaneous language use may rely heavily on the prefericated partners and road lines and and that interaction between learners and members of the target culture must be understood as cross-culture communicate. Okay, uh, I'm this is last for me. Wassalam for Inaj. I'm sorry. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.